Greetings. Today I want to speak to you on the subject of the subjective mind and the objective mind, and how we can either live in the objective world or the subjective world. And the reason why I choose to speak on this topic is because when you look around and you see the different systems that have been set up, you realize that these systems have been set up to keep people to focus on the objective world, which is the world of object. And these objects are actually the manifestations that came from things that you cannot see, or from a substance that is invisible, from a different world that is not objective but is subjective. So for example, when we look at money in its physical form, that is actually being objective, because you see money as an object. When you look at a vehicle, you look at a phone, anything that is created through science and technology, and you can contact it by the five senses, it's basically an object. Okay? And so we are living in an objective world, and most people are trapped in this objective world because they have an objective mindset. So they only believe in things that they can see, taste, touch, and smell. And that is when you are just vibrating in the objective world. But I want to teach you how to tap into the subjective world and live from the subjective world and have a subjective mindset. That is why I always teach you to learn to meditate, to visualize, to do inner talking, and to do mirror work, scripting, journaling, all of these things. Because when you do that, you're practicing to live from the subjective world. And so you're creating a subjective mindset, because this subjective mindset will teach you how to tap into awareness. Because awareness is everything. Because consciousness is the only intelligence that there is. And it is because of consciousness why I can speak to you. And consciousness is universal. Okay? So, in short, what am I really trying to teach you is that you have to create a certain mindset to be able to tap into the world of the subjective. So a subjective mind will be able to tap into the subjective world. And an objective mind will only be able to contact the objective world. So my brothers and my sisters, there are two kinds of people that are living in the world. Those who are vibrating on the objective side of existence only, and those who are vibrating on both the objective and the subjective, because they understand the objective and the subjective. And those are the ones who understand that you can take your desires and you can transmute them into the objective, that which you want. Okay? So when you realize that everything that you see, that it was first formless, and all you really need is the right mindset, then you will know basically that mindset is everything. And that mindset is what determines whether a person live their life in the fullest, or if they live their life in lack, mediocrity, and a mindset of scarcity. So when we look at all of these countries, as I said before in many videos that they refer to as third world countries, it is because of mindset. And it is because most of the people, they are vibrating from the realm of the objective world. They only can think about what they can see, taste, touch, and smell. And that is why the educational system have been set up to keep you in the objective world. And that is why the book you can see, the pen you can see, the pencil you can see, the bench and the desk you can see, the blackboard you can see, the teacher you can see, even the building that is referred to a school, you can see it. Because why? It is all objective. They are all objects. But that which was not object, was subjective, or that which was invisible or formless, that is what created all those things that I would have mentioned. So imagination created academic education. Yet people in so-called third world country, they believe more in academic education over their own human imagination. Okay? And that is why it is very important for you to understand the difference between the objective world and the subjective world, and how to have a mindset that is more subjective. That's why you must practice things like meditation instead of praying to a God or Savior outside of yourself. And that will bring me to the subject of God. Many times when you speak to people who have a religious and superstitious mentality, and people who believe in lack, scarcity, poverty, and most of all people who have colonial mentality, and people are suffering from mental slavery, they always point you to look outwardly. That's why when you talk about God, you mention God, they always pointing upwards to the sky, and fail to realize that they're pointing to space, because they believe that God is an object. That's why most people believe God is some man that resides in the sky, or living in the sky, that is looking down, and that God is a man. Okay? But I'm saying to you that God is within. The very life inside of you is that intelligence. That's the infinite intelligence, which is your true essence. And the only how we can know that is if you tap into your subjective world and have a subjective mindset. And when you have a subjective mindset, you don't worry. You do not fret, because you vibrate under the energy of love, not the energy of fear. So just as how I would have mentioned the objective wall and the subjective wall, so too you must know that there's a wall of fear, doubt, shame, guilt, and everything else that you can think about that will keep you down and make you less of a genius that you are. And then there is the wall of love, which is the subjective wall, whereby you believe in yourself, you love yourself, you accept yourself, you embrace yourself. And the self of you that you love and embrace is your invisible self, your God self. The self of you that is creative, the self of you that is imaginative. And that is why creativity is rebellion against the system. That is why whenever you find your creative self or your God self, and you overcome the fear of poverty and the fear of death, then you will understand how these preachers and politicians have been manipulating people to keep them under fear so that they will be controlled. But my brother, my sisters, when you tap into the subjective world, you know how to overcome the fear of poverty. And when you tap into the subjective world also, you will know how to overcome the fear of death. And that's why you will conquer death, hell, and the grave. And you will say, oh death, where is thy sting? Oh grave, where is thy victory? Because why? You are overcomer. So my brother, my sisters, my encouragement to you is to live your life as an overcomer by being a subjective thinker and not an objective thinker. So, whenever you've been encouraged to use your imagination just before you go to bed, and when you wake up first thing in the morning and throughout the day, it is because you've been taught how to live in the subjective world and live from the subjective world. Living from the world of your wish already fulfilled. Living from the world of possibilities. Living from the world where all things are possible unto you. So my brother, my sister, the choice is yours. Are you going to be an objective thinker or a subjective thinker? Are you going to live from the objective world, or are you going to live from the subjective world? The choice is yours. And there's no better time for you to make the right choice. Because right now, presently right now, we are living in a time whereby everyone believed there was actually a pandemic, not knowing that this pandemic was created for the inoculation. But my brother and my sisters, I want to say to you, do not accept slavery and destroy your generation. The choice you make is not only going to affect you, but it's going to affect your generation, up to 3 generations from now. And that is why many of us grew up in the world and we ask ourselves, why were we so unfortunate not to meet anything? Like for example, our family, our parents, they have nothing, absolutely nothing, and we have to start from nothing. It is because of certain decisions that they would have made long time ago. Could have been your great grandfather or grandmother, and it affect you because generational curse is real. That's why my brother and my sister, I'm giving you the key by telling you to live more subjectively. Live more subjectively and live less objectively. Right now, the whole world is living objectively because of tradition. This whole Christmas tradition, everybody who believe in the Jesus and Mary story and gravitate towards the greatest light that have been ever fed to humanity, many of them gonna waste a lot of their money because they're living more objectively. Okay? So my brothers and my sisters, take this advice and look inwardly. Live from within and let everything express without. Okay? So if there is no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. Live more subjectively. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me, what I'm saying, it makes sense to you, really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraged to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you would like to follow me on Instagram or you would like to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me at BlackMadGuru. And if you feel strongly to support this work, there's always a PayPal link down below. Feel free to check it out. And if you would like to be a part of our Patreon community, you're most welcome. And I want to mention that I have a course called The Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And it's all about you living subjectively and getting in touch with that light that is within you, that energy that is within you. And when you do that, and you are in alignment with the rest of nature, you'll be able to fulfill all of your desires. So if you feel strong enough to check it out, I definitely encourage you to do so. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to say peace. Love you all. I'm out.